A follow-up to the Apple event that happened just a few days ago, and I'm basically today, I've already made a video on covering everything, and I'll include the link both in comments and at the end for that video. It's just a 12-minute video that I've made that covers everything, but today I'll just be recapping what Apple released, and I'll be going through with you and breaking it down and also giving you my impressions and my thoughts on the situation as well. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Alright, first of all, let's get into the HomePod Mini, which Apple just released. And this is exactly the same sort of mesh that goes around it with the original. And it's a lot smaller though, and it's a lot cheaper as well. It starts off at $149. I have to say that price is a bit of a give and take in Australia. I would have liked to see the $99 mark. Yes, $149 sounds reasonable for one of these. However, I think for most people, you'd need at least 2 or 3 in the house, in rooms and things like that. So all of a sudden you're looking at about $600 if you've got 4 of them. So that's quite a bit. It's exactly the same, has Siri and things like that. Now it's got a really cool sound system that I will be looking forward to checking out. It provides a 360 sound for you, and it's paired with a S5 chip, and Apple is calling this technology a computable audio, which apparently combines the audio with the computing power of the S5 chip to give you a really great experience. Just like the original, you can have 2 of these paired together to have stereo sound around your room. Now this will be available to order on November 16th or 17th, depending where you are at in the world. Here in Australia it'll be the 17th of November, and you can get your hands on this. That's quite a bit off, so it's over a month away from now. I really like the smaller design and things like that. The price is really good. I think I will definitely be looking forward to getting this and testing it out. Now moving on to the main event, which is the iPhone, and Apple started this event off with iPhone 12, and it started off by the new design, squared like the iPad and the older iPhone 5 and SE and things like that. Now it's got a better edge-to-edge screen, and which makes the notch a little bit smaller as well, and the screen a lot bigger. It's more to the edge. So what it's done is it's actually reduced the size as well. It's got a new ceramic screen as well, which makes the drop strength 4 times stronger. They're calling this ceramic shield, which has nano ceramic crystals etched into the glass to make it tougher. Now the cameras have all been all around in the iPhone 12, both in the back and the front. But the thing that I really liked this year that Apple banged out about as well was the OLED screen on every iPhone. So from the iPhone 12 to the Pro models and everything like that. And what I was really excited about is the iPhone 12 mini. I'm using the first generation iPhone SE as my main phone, so I'm really looking forward for a smaller phone that's a lot more advanced and powerful with a powerful battery. I think the iPhone 12 mini would be suiting a lot of people. Now other than that, night mode has been introduced across the range from all the iPhones, and it's been introduced into portraits and time-lapse, so you'll be able to do like those slow motion, like where the sun comes out and things like that, time-lapse videos in night mode, and also you'll be able to take portrait photos of yourself in night mode as well. The other exciting things that Apple announced across the board were 5G. So all of the phones will be getting 5G, even the iPhone 12 mini, which will be the smallest iPhone, which is 5G. Now the most exciting thing that hasn't happened for a while is the A14 chip. Not only is it on a 5 nanometer chip, but it is offering a lot more performance. It's offering up to 50% CPU speed, and it's offering about same 50% increase in GPU graphic processing as well, which is really exciting, and it has not happened for a while for Apple. So I have seen Apple chips offering like a tiny bit of an increase every year, mostly efficiency, but this time around I'm really happy, and especially to consider that most of the other chips that are out there on Android phones, they're already struggling to keep up with the A13 chip, and all of a sudden they've brought in A14, which is going to be just fantastic, especially on their mini phone. Now going back to talking about the 5G, they've introduced something called smart data mode, and what that means is it'll be the iPhone would be actually switching between 4G and 5G. So if you're in an area area where it has 5G, however, you're using just mundane stuff which doesn't require speed, it'll switch back to 4G. And if you're in but the exciting thing about that is if you're in a 5G location and the 4G coverage isn't as good as the 5G, it'll switch to 5G to give you that better coverage. Now moving on to MagSafe, which is basically a magnet at the back of your iPhone, and it's included on all iPhone. And what it does is not only can you charge your iPhone through it, it just snaps on, but you can have a lot of accessories snap on as well, where you can have like a mini wallet where you can just put your cards and your phone together. There's like cases with it as well. And also there was a cool MagSafe accessory that Apple showed off, which charges both your phone and watch on one single pad together. One thing that was a bit disappointing that Apple sold in a very cool way was like, hey, we're going to be taking about 400,000 cars off the street by just taking out the AirPods and the brick. So what you get with the iPhone is all you get is like just a lightning charger, USB-C to lightning charger. So it's not USB-C to USB-C still, which is kind of disappointing. It's to lightning. However, you don't get a brick with it, you don't get AirPods, and they've done that for all their range. Even the SE that got it last year is no longer going to ship out with it. Even the iPhone 11 and iPhone 10R that they were doing from last year, they're still going to sell it without that. What that will mean is a smaller box. So all that together would save a lot for the environment. So they did a really good job in selling that, even though they've taken it out and they've started saving a lot of money and increasing profits. Now going back into iPhone mini, which Apple then announced after they've talked about iPhone 12. So iPhone 12 mini is basically smaller than the iPhone SE. So it's got the same sort of body. It's a tiny bit different. But what it's done is because the screen is now really close to the edge as well, it's still a 5.4 inch screen, which is really impressive because the old iPhone, that the iPhone 11 Pro, which was about the same size, was only 5.8. So not a big difference in regards to that. And the screen resolution, it's beautiful. It's got HDR and Dolby Vision as well, which is really impressive. Now the iPhone 12 mini will have everything that the iPhone 12 will have, that I just went through, the camera and everything's like that. So that's really impressive. Now after that, iPhone 12 Pro models get discussed, and in that they have got two models. So now they've introduced the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and what they've done is the form factor is about the same. So bulk and things like that hasn't increased. It's only increased by like 2 grams on each of them, I think. But the size, the length and things like that remains nearly the same. However, what they've done is instead of having the Pro at 5.8, they've increased it to 6.1, and instead of having 6.5, they've increased the 6.5 to 6.7. They have all of what was discussed in the iPhone 12. However, they've got now a LiDAR sensor and obviously the ultra wide with the telescope as well. Now, for the first time, what they've done is the iPhone 12 Pro Max actually is a little bit better and has a few exclusive stuff that the iPhone 12 Pro does not. Now, the main differences between the 12s and the Pro models are basically the 12 has a screen 12 Pro has a screen that's a tiny bit better in brightness and things like that, but mostly it's around the edge. So around the edge, it has aluminium on the 12, and on the Pro, they've got this shiny stainless steel with a new gold that they're introducing in the color that looks really good, that looks like a genuine gold phone, and also a blue. So they've taken out that ugly green that I don't know why it took off, just because people thought it's a new color, we're gonna get it. I think that color looked ugly. I'm still out on the blue, the Midnight Pacific blue or whatever they're calling it. I'm still out on it. I need to see it. I think if it's close to a black, it'll look really nice. Like if it's one of those colors that, like if you look closely at it, it'll be blue, but like if you just had a glance at it, it looks black. That'll be really cool. Now the camera on these things, obviously from previous, are where everything is focused. It's not only got an extra lens, but the lenses are this and that. The lenses are the same, except for you get an extra telephoto lens. What you do miss out in the 12s are basically in the Pro, you get the option to record in Apple ProRes, which is for professionals, and it lets you on the phone edit things like lighting, dew, and things like that. It's very much aimed at professionals, and you can use Photoshop or Lightroom on your phone to do that. Now, the other thing that you get is HDR video recording, and the only difference here is the Pro models can do it at 60 frames per second, whereas the normal ones do it at 30. So you can record in Dolby Vision HDR at 60 frames per second on these new phones. Now the other thing that they get is the LiDAR sensor, and that is used mainly for accuracy and things like that, checking the room out. Same as the iPad Pro that early on in the year got it. The difference is here it'll be used to also get portrait in the night, and it's going to be 6 times faster to focus on things, and it'll help with all those things. Now if you guys watch my channel a lot, I am a big Apple fan, but we have a commitment to giving you guys honest reviews. So what I always banged out about is Apple incrementally, slowly, every year increasing the price to a ridiculous amount. This year finally they didn't do it, but the prices are so high anyways. Let's go through the prices in Australia. So first of all, let's go to the Pro models. So the Pro models start at, basically you get the 12 Pro Max at $1849 and the 12 Pro at $1699. Now what is good to note is the price stayed the same, however you get double storage at the lowest option. Before, for that price you could get 64 gigs, now it's 128 gigs for the Pro model. Having said this, a little disappointing, the iPhone 12 mini and 12 would not be getting that. They start off still at a excruciating 64 gig, especially with Dolby Vision and things like that. HDR recording at 4K with 30 frames per second. I don't think 64 gigs is enough these days, especially considering that nearly 10 gigs will be taken up by the OS. So you're really starting off at about 55 gig. Now, and the prices are for the 12 mini, it'll start off at about $1,200, $1,199. However, you can get double the storage, which is 128 at $1,279. So for about 80 bucks, you get double the storage, which is quite good. It only goes up to 256, which is disappointing, not 512. However, it is at nearly $1,500, $1,449. Now the iPhone 12 starts off at $1,349 for the 64, and it goes up to $1,599. So $1,600 for 265 gigs. And again, you get double the storage for 80 bucks at 128. I think if they had started these phone on 128 and had the option for 512, it would have been really nice for me. Now these phones will start to go on sale. So first it'll be the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro. They'll go on sale this Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the 12 mini and the 12 Pro Max, they'll go on sale on the 7th of November at around 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. At Honest Straightforward Reviews, I am really excited to test all of these phones out. So please let me know which phones in the comments, which phones you're interested in seeing me check out, and what colors as well for which phone. I'm leaning for the Pro models to check out gold and the new blue, and for the mini and 12, I'm thinking of checking out blue and the new black color, or maybe product red. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Okay guys, thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you aren't subscribed, please do subscribe, give it a like, and follow us on Patreon as well, and support us to see more content. Thank you. Bye.